We are back. Levack and Goz with you, the Empire pregame show. But because Goz is in the Lando Orange out Syracuse way, and I'm here, I actually get to be a part of this show, not just an interviewed guest. So it's kind of nice actually to be a part of the show that I started with him.
It does say Levack and Goz here on this banner, right?
Yeah. The Goz Show with a special appearance by Jeff Levack. Got to tell you before we get anything else, great morning. Went and hung out with the junior plainsmen up in Clifton Park, the Shen School District. So Mac and Jack, we had two of our beautiful empresses there, hanging out, watching some great flag football. Mac and Jack were a hit. The empresses were a hit as always. And just a lot of pictures out there, a lot of great people. So thanks to everybody who let us hang out, and maybe we'll invade your territory again. So that was very cool. It was a good day.
The future of the Albany Empire. The early scouting for you and Mike Korda and Coach Manalas and anybody else that might have a say in who could be a future Empire player years from now.
I don't have any say anymore. I lost my job today. I got usurped.
Really?
The greatest villain in the Levack and Goz universe, pulled a fasty on me, and Charlotte Von Schiller is now the president of the Empire. She said, "I want to be the president." She looked over at Mike Korda, the owner, and said, "I want to be the president." She goes, "I don't think your guy's doing enough," and he agreed, and now she's president. So all complaints taken to Charlotte Von Schiller from here on out, please.
The ultimate villain coup d'etat. Right?
Yeah,
That's easy. I want to be it. Okay, deal.
Yeah, I'm not even mad about it. She's like, I've almost got my doctorate. All these other, she made a strong case, and it was a heel move for sure. It was like a loser leave town match. I just didn't know I was in it, and this loser had to leave town. So she thinks I'm kidding, but she's in charge now. That's all there is to it. So all complaints, Charlotte Von Schiller, right to her. Right to
the next home game, it's going to be like Joaquin Phoenix and Gladiator, right? Charlotte Von Schiller will have the thumbs down after a bed.
Yeah. Tommy Gross, it's a joke. I'm not really. Tommy Gross just put up the sad face. I mean, like, seriously, I'll let her do the work, though. If she wants to do the work, I'm all about handing it over. Cam swears a lot lately. Have you noticed that? Well, poop. Cam, stop with the swearing. It's a yeah. God, you're the good one, man. He gets hurt all the time, though. We'll bubble wrap that kid. So, yeah, great time with the junior plainsmen. Can't wait to go see them all again. I think their championship is next weekend, so maybe get a chance to go check those guys out and have some fun with them again. So, how you doing? How's everything in Gozland?
I'm doing well. I was excited because I thought we were going to find out on this weekend show. We kicked back a few 90 minutes because of the shout out to all the junior plainsmen and everything else. But it looks like social media. I don't know if our guy Quentin Cantera got it as well. You've got a big announcement that you and the team at the Albany Empire and Charlotte Von Schiller, I guess, as well, shared on social media.
She approves.
Okay.
We found a very tight window where we could do something that we wanted to do for everybody. We could actually make it happen. So on Sunday, June 26th, the 2:00 kickoff, don't forget the Middle Light Block Party with Crying Out Loud starts at noon. We're going to, honor the teams of the past, and we're going to drop a championship banner for the 1999 Firebirds and for the 2019 Empire. They were both, the Firebirds banner vanished. We have no idea where it is. We don't know who took it. We don't know what. So we just got a new one made, and no one ever made one for the 2019 team because the AFL went bankrupt. So, I convinced team owner Mike Korda to pony up the dough to make them. And by convinced, he goes, "Do you think anyone will care?" I go, "You care. You're a fan." He goes, "You're right." And so he made it work. He put it all together. So he's the hero of the story, and I am the villain for a lot of people.
All right, you left me with a good tease there. I'm going to get back to that, but I just want to offer a little bit more perspective for people who might not live in the capital region, who don't know why this is such a huge, massive deal. Let's start with the most recent Albany Empire Championship, the 2019 one. What you just alluded to is that the AFL folded, and that has been, for 3 years plus, one of the biggest things that fans continue to bring up in the capital region, that they supported that team in 2017 and 2018, and it was supposed to flip around to the kickoff in 2019 was going to be right, my years are right. Yeah. 2020. I'm sorry. 2020. There was going to be a moment where the banner was dropped and everything was going to happen. And it never happened.
Right.
And then 2021 came because COVID was still involved and things didn't happen. So for the fans who have been waiting truly 3 years for that banner drop to happen, it is finally happening. So that is awesome news. I'm so glad you pulled that off. For the Firebirds, where the hell, like you said, where's the banner?
No idea. No.
What the hell?
And that's like, of course, like, hey, we got these other 2 banners. We were able to put it together. We're going to do it. We're going to honor the team. We're going to have them all up there. And of course, like, first, where's the Eddie Brown one? And it's like, honestly, we thought that one still existed. No one can find that either. So maybe that's something in the future. Like, my window to get these things hung is this week, coming up. That's the only time I was going to be able to get it done. And we didn't know if we'd be able to get it to come together. So the fact that we're getting these ones up there and like a lot of sliding parts for the arena, our friends over at the MVP Arena doing great things to get these done for us, not cheaply. It's so once we found out that nobody knows where that one is either, now we'll look at that. We'll try to figure that out for the future, but it's nothing. It's not as easy. Like I think people think it's as easy as, hey, you know what? Next, like this season, let's just do this. There's a lot of moving parts. It's very expensive to get the damn things made. It's very expensive to get them hung. I mean, it's because I was that guy. I say people think you just do it. I was that guy. I was like, you just do it, right? It's fine, whatever. And then like I found out all the things you have to do it, all the people you have to appease to do it, all the people who could still cause an issue, but I'm hoping once they're up there, they won't. So it's not as easy as, hey, this is the right thing to do. Let's do it. And let's not forget, like, this is a completely different team now. You know what I mean? We're the Empire. We respect and honor the Empire of the past, but different ownership, different league, different name to the arena. Like, it's all different. So it was, you kind of have that whole thing of, is it our place to do it? Is it our responsibility to do it? And once we were able to figure it out, we got it done. And it's gotta happen now. Like, it's gotta happen now. If it's going to happen, otherwise it may never happen, to be perfectly honest with you.
Okay, so the most recent time we talked, you had alluded to the fact that you might find yourself in trouble, and you may or may not even be allowed to do this. I'm just now piecing this together. That probably means that these logos, the AFL logos that were the Firebirds and the Empire, there might be something to do with that, right? So
those logos are fine. Because
gotcha.
Mike owns those logos. I'd rather not get deeper into it, just because why stoke a flame that may not be burning at the moment.
Gotcha.
But there's definitely let's just put it this way. Last couple weeks, not just this, I have spent more time talking to lawyers than when I went through my divorce and bankruptcy. Okay. Like, there's been a lot of legalese flying through these uneducated ears. And ultimately it ended with me no smart, you smart, me no smart. You tell Jeff do, Jeff no do. Oh, you can do it, but okay, you said I can do it. And then Jeff ran out of the room before anybody changes their mind.
All right, well, let's address one more complaint then that I've seen circulating. And this one bothers me, and I'm sure it bothers you, but you now have an open forum to talk about it. What's the deal with the players? It seems like some players were really upset about the announcement. Did something happen behind the scenes that people are missing? Okay.
In a perfect world, like you had mentioned, right? So if this was going into 2020, same group, everything is owned by the same people, and there's the wrinkles aren't there. Like the 2021 banner, right? Even though Mike Corda was not the majority owner in 2021, he was an owner. And we were able to do everything as we wanted to because it was all obviously clearly ours. In a perfect world, I would have been able to put this thing together before the season started. I would have been able to plan it out the way I wanted to. You kind of know this. I don't think a lot of people know this. I wanted to do this I wanted to do this like the game after the first game. I wanted the first game to be about the 2021 team, and then I wanted the next home game to be like, let's get the rest of these guys up in the rafters where they belong. But I ran into a lot of things. If I could have done it perfectly, I would have planned this out before the year even started. I would have sent out to all the guys, hey, if you can get here, I'll have you on the field for it. So some of the guys, the first time they saw it was when we posted we were going to do it. And not everybody's thrilled about that. And my only thing that I can say is I wish I could have done it perfectly. I can't. I just can't do it the way I would like to. But I felt like my judgment call was, and this is my call, this is where I came in, I would rather get it up there, honor those teams the way they should be, even if I can't do it perfectly, at least it's done. At least those banners are there, and honor those fans. You've never seen a group of fans like the 2019 Albany Empire fans or the 1999 Firebird fans. Like, you've never seen they were rabid, they were ravenous, they were dedicated. And we've got some of those people with us this year, but nothing like those guys had. So those fans deserve the banner as much as anyone. Because I had to do the way I did it, I can understand where some of the guys are like, I really, really want to be there. This sucks. I really want you here. I had to get it up because otherwise no one else was going to do it. If it wasn't for Mike Corda, that banner never hits the rafters. It becomes one of those things we talk about for years and years and years. It's hey, remember we won in 19 and we never got to do the things we wanted to do. So that's, I can understand where a little bit of hurt feelings would be in it. But at the same time, I just felt like it was more important to get the banner up than it was to risk never getting it up to do it perfectly.
No, that makes sense. I totally get what you're saying. It's basically like, hey, we have to figure out the best way to make this for the organization, for the legacy, for the team, for the business.
The fans number one.
Exactly right. And the fans as well. And this is a comparison, and I'll try to put words in your mouth, but I think because you and I have worked with Coach Cattuso before at UAlbany Great Dane football, that when alumni would come back who played for the team, they were treated differently. Like, hey, if you want to get on the sideline, get on the sideline. If you're coming to a game, reach out to me. We'll make things happen. So, look, the world we're in right now in June of 2022, travel's hard for everybody. Like, planes are getting delayed. Gas is $5. Like, getting
Delta's slimming down their flights. Well, some are offering nearly as many flights right now.
Right. So, like, look, it would have been hard if you told them it was July 14th or whatever day. You know what I mean? Like, any travel situation at any point, unless you get like even if you had a 6 months heads up, like, it still would have been difficult. So I wonder if, even if some Albany Empire or Albany Firebird players are not in attendance for next Sunday, I'm sure at some point during the season, you might cut to the crowd and be like, I'm just going to use this guy example because I know he's been to home games before. Like, hey, former Albany Empire, Mo Ruffins is in the crowd. Congratulations to Mo.
You mean the guy who moved out of the area right before I was able to get this solidified?
You know what I'm talking about, though. Like, there's going to be other ways that if an Empire alumni player or a Firebird alumni player can't make it and they reach out to you, trust me, you're going to find a way to take care of them and make sure. Like, that's okay. Like,
that's the goal.
Right. Yeah. And like, you did everything you could on your end to make it happen. It is happening. You didn't have to make it happen. The Empire are doing this next Sunday. And it's hard. It's difficult. But you're doing, so that's just my take on that. We've seen it happen to other teams.
With the way this year is going, I don't expect anyone to be happy. It's just like I feel like if I gave a child like life-saving CPR, so maybe like, well, you weren't really trained for it, so you're kind of shitty for saving that kid's life. Like, that's the way. And like, and it's not woe is me because whatever, who cares? I don't care. Like, I just, as long as the team is happy, as long as the fans are happy, the majority of them at least, what are you going to do? It is what it is. Again, cancel me. Can I just say something? I just want to get canceled. That's all I'm going for. You know what? I'll tell you what I did. I planned this so no one could be there because that way I'd get canceled. That's what I did. This is called sarcasm, kids, before somebody quotes that. It's just
Van Stiller told me to do it.
No, it's like, I think he's like, a lot of people get it, and I think a lot of people understand the moving parts, and just like last year, we felt like last year would be the toughest year you ever dealt with because you're hosting indoor sports in New York, who was toughest on COVID rules during a pandemic. And it wasn't easy, and the fans were great. This year's harder because this year everybody's back. So everybody is competing with each other. Everybody is, I think a lot of people are remembering things different than what they are at points and stuff. So this isn't a woe is me thing. I'm learning a lot. So if I do get to keep my job, if Mrs. Van Schiller will let me keep it, I feel like we'll just keep getting better. But this was, I couldn't believe how difficult it was just to do something nice for people on this one. Like, I just couldn't believe the hoops that we had to jump through. And I don't like being the guy who has to go, like, hey, I need help. Like, you know what I mean? But like, I literally had to get like Mike involved several times where he's busy doing other things to be like, do we even push forward? Like, if they're making it difficult just to do nice things for people, like, what do I do with these banners? And he's like, you made a good point early. We're going to make it happen. And he did. So again, any of the mistakes, my fault. The fact it's happening, kudos to Mr. Corda.
8 days away from that happening. But Levack, we do have another game today. Huge game for the Empire. But before we get to it, let's talk about our friends over at Mohawk Honda. They want to buy your car. Right now, whatever car you might be driving, you might be able to get the price back for what you bought for your car and a new ride thanks to Mohawk Honda. Stop over at Glenville, New York right now this weekend. Make an appointment. Check them out online. Follow them on social media. Nick and Nate do an awesome job with their social media stuff, where you can see the 2023s on the way. How about that? You trade in your vehicle and maybe get a 2023 brand new car thanks to Mohawk Honda. It can happen. I had the road trip to Central New York this past weekend. My car.
Did you drive or did the wife drive?
Oh, the wife, of course. I'm not getting yelled at.
And
now it's filled with car seats for my wonderful nieces and young son.
That third row seating comes in handy. Third row seating. Right.
I can only imagine all the goldfish and pirates' booty and snacks that'll be in my vehicle. But Mohawk Honda will help you find that new ride. Trust us, wherever you're listening across upstate New York, it is worth the drive to Glenville so you can get yourself a new vehicle. Shout out to Greg Johnson. Shout out to Ken McKenna, Brian McKenna, everybody over there. John Lucas, Kurt, John and Serve, everybody, man. Mohawk Honda, they want to buy your car, and they always go out of their way to please you.
What's a better booty in your car this weekend? Pirates booty or your alleged award-winning booty? Which one? Which one do we like better?
I would say mine. Now that the debate is happening to Jordan, I think there's a lot of jealousy from my wife that she claims it's not the best, that it's all in my head.
So she didn't support your claim at all.
No,
because you made it sound like she was going to be like, oh, yes, Thomas has the great backside.
There were I think she finds it more of like a carnival act, that why are his legs so short and the butt is so massive, while other women have been constantly gazing upon my rump. And I think it finds her to be a bit jealous. But you can talk to her about it. She's not answering calls about it, clearly.
I don't have the setup that we had last time, too, so it's easier to – it was easier to call her from the board last time. I do find that funny. I do. Like, you were convinced that she was just going to like rubber stamp what you were saying. And she was in what? No, you have no, like, you have no, like, I don't even know how you stay in seats. I really don't. It's great. And with those little short legs, it's fantastic. Like a parade float or something. It's weird. You're built like a minion. You're actually like, you might work for Gru.
Minion / SpongeBob. It's just entertaining children. No wonder these kids are so entertained by me. Let's talk about the game today. Albany.
Yes, please.
Are they still playing Carolina? I feel like they played about 1,000 times now. Okay.
3 times this year. 2 here, 1 there. This is the last time we play them unless we see them in the postseason.
Let's get into the question, as I like to set them up sometimes with, can Levack answer this? Who is the starting quarterback? Who is going to be the starting quarterback?
Sam Casanova.
Okay.
That's Sam Casanova. Yeah, I mean, Coach, if you watch the coach's show, Coach pulled Sam because Sam he needed him to get out of his head for a minute. Warren is a next level QB when it comes to this game, so you wanted to give Warren Smith a chance to see if he could get his feet underneath him, and then you brought Sam back in. You almost won the game. So yeah, Sam will be our starting quarterback.
That is big news to hear that, because Casanova.
I feel that weird. I felt like that was just like, I felt like it was like a gimme. I really did. I thought it was like a known thing.
Maybe the way I'm viewing it is that both you and I had a feeling, and this was never confirmed, but just you and I have just watched enough games where I thought like maybe there was still an injury, maybe something was up, maybe like before game time that something was going to pop up. So that's kind of where my head was at. Then I thought, because of the matchup, it being Carolina, that Carolina saw Mike Faithful the first time they played. They saw Sam Casanova the second time they played. I was like, are they just going to throw a third different quarterback at Carolina and see what happens? Because it would have been 3 for 3 for the Empire. Like you said, Warren Smith's a really good player. No, I think Casanova played fine against Carolina. I think a lot of those point changing plays or controversial plays. Like the safeties could have gone either way. Right. The 5 plays, we'll just sum up real quick. The last time they played inside the MVP arena, there were 5 plays that were all reviewed, all went in favor of Carolina, and all of them involved point scoring plays. And that's not even counting the extra point that may or may not have gone in. So, yeah, do I think Sam should have been the starter? Sure. Is a storyline probably for the Carolina broadcasters going to be if the first 5 drives offensively for Albany aren't going well? Will Warren Smith Jr. go into the game? Sure. I mean, I think that's a fair storyline, especially with how Carolina played last time, where I called it the crawl, the Cobra crawl, where it's like, all right, we got a 3rd and 3. Let's get 5 yards and sit on the clock. All right, let's keep Darius Prince off the field. Let's keep Casanova off the field.
Which is what,
of course,
like I want to do that, like so because I know that our coaches love running the ball, but like there's times like we'll be doing well, and I'm like, guys, start running, and more or less it's because I want to get to the pizza after the game, but it's still kind of cool, you know. I would do that 100% whenever I got a chance. Whenever I got a chance, I would do that. I would.
Yeah, I mean, it's a smart strategy for Carolina to do that. Like if you match up Carolina and Albany of that game versus what we just saw with Albany and San Antonio, who, by the way, San Antonio won again last night. So they're starting to figure some stuff out, the gunslingers, and how well they are. It's a smart strategy. 13 offensive plays. I'm probably never going to get over that stat from the most recent game between those two. That 13 offensive plays in the first half is crazy in the NAL, and that's what Carolina was able to limit Albany to. It seems as if that might be the same strategy in this matchup, and the winner of this game, in similar fashion to what we saw earlier this summer, can make the bragging right. They're the best team in the NAL, and I didn't know if we were going to be in that same spot following Carolina's loss last Friday and then Albany's loss to San Antonio, but nobody has stepped up yet, and maybe you see something different in the league, that these still feel like the 2 best teams in the league.
You know, I obviously I'm pretty partial to the Empire. I think they're a pretty good team, but I think this year is going to be one of those years where I think if you're trying to predict who the best team at the end is, you may be off early because, again, you just mentioned it. San Antonio's won 2 straight now. Those are big wins in the way they're winning. Like they had to let the clock run out against us. We were coming back. But then to score on the last play and to beat Orlando, I mean, like those are big wins. And that I'm a big fan of the former ownership of that team. I'm friends with Hector Garcia. We talk at least once, maybe twice a week. But you can see that there's a different mindset right now. Like maybe, you know, it's kind of like, you know, when you see a new manager, it's not always the fact that like the manager you replaced isn't good at what he does. It's just the new manager fits that scenario better or something like that, because they look different. They look like they want to beat your ass, and they can. So like they scare me a little bit. Jacksonville, ever since they got Nelson, the quarterback, I mean, they're right there now. You know, they're missing some receivers yesterday, or who knows how that game goes. And Columbus is always going to play a solid game against you. They're just you and I could line up for Columbus, and somehow, some way, they would play a solid game. So, and you know, Orlando is always one of those teams. Like Cato can make plays that a lot of guys can't make. It's an interesting year. It's a very interesting year. Carolina's showing almost no flaws right now. Like they obviously, you know, they've lost a few, whatever, but when they play their game, they're not easy to beat. And when Albany plays our game, we're not easy to beat. It's just there seems like there's some days like any given Saturday kind of deal, you know?
Yes, there's a lot of even play. It's like getting to the dance. If you're the 4th seed or the top seed, as long as you're in the playoffs, you've got an opportunity. And I think that's very true this season because of so many teams being so competitive right now. Now, if Albany cannot come through with a victory today, it is a season-changing situation for the Empire, because now it becomes a mess, because Carolina has a little bit of breathing room if Albany loses today. And then the Empire are in a huge mix with everybody else. Like, it's Orlando's in that mix, Jacksonville's in that mix, depending on how hot it's everybody. You know, just make it easy. Everybody's in play after that, because the 2 seed becomes the most important thing for the rest of the season, because the 2 seed would get a home playoff game in the semifinals.
Yeah.
And if Carolina wraps up the home field, that could potentially have again breathing space. It could still get caught. But more importantly, is that Albany's mindset could change of, all right, we're chasing after a league title to get in the playoffs. Exactly what you just said.
Yeah.
Now it's win every single game, get in the dance, play your best football as you get towards late July, early August, and make it happen. That could all still happen, but it is a different season today if they beat Carolina or lose to Carolina. I can do is it the most important game of the season, which I know you love. I save those for the MVP arena. But really, like math-wise, and by the way, Jacksonville's played 9 games as we're talking right now. Albany's played 7. Keep looking at winning percentage. As you noted this last week, some teams are going to be off, and the winning percentage is going to play a huge factor here later in the season.
Listen, it is an extremely important game. You know, you kind of touched on it. So, top seed, guaranteed home field advantage throughout the playoffs, the playoff game and the championship game. Second, at least a home playoff game. If you get really lucky and 4 jumps up and bites 1, you can host the championship game. When you are the reigning and defending champion, you lost 1 game last year. You got to host a game. Like, it feels that way. Now, we get to that point where we're that 4 seed and maybe we get to jump up and beat the 1 or something like that, which I don't foresee happen. I'm just saying, obviously, my tune would change. So, like, yeah, you just got to be there. You got to be in it to win it, whatever. But everything that this team has done and the growth they've shown and the work that the coaching staff has put in to not at least be the 2 seed, which, listen, obviously our goal is still the 1 seed. We want to be the top seed. You win tonight. You still got a very good path to the number 1 seed. You don't win tonight. Like you said, you're scrapping now to get that 2 seed to host a playoff game to reward the fans are going to start coming. I feel it. I really, really do. You don't want to be the 3 or the 4 seed as the reigning champ. And you still got top to bottom. I don't know who has a better roster. When obviously the way Carolina's playing is great. The way, San Antonio's coming on. But when you look at the names on the back of the jerseys for the Albany Empire, we have the best roster.
Take that. That's right. All right. Go Albany. 7 o'clock kickoff tonight, set in Carolina. And then next week, 2 o'clock, MVP Arena.
Yes, sir. Sunday the 26th. Sunday Family Fun Day. Group ticket rates. Kids 12 and under are free as always. Block party starts at the Miller Lite block party starts at noon. We're going to do it like an NFL Sunday kind of, Crying Out Loud's going to play. They're great. Of course, hopefully, that Columbus team comes in and they're not as well prepared as usual because they're going to be prepared. Got to beat them.
If you want to go to some NAL road games this season, if you're looking to get a concert in the capital region, if you're going to the Dome, I'm going to call it the Dome in Syracuse, Utica's Odd, wherever it is this summer. Concerts, sporting events, and more. Your place is SeatGeek.com. SeatGeek. SeatGeek.com. For your first purchase using SeatGeek.com with any ticket order over $50, you get $20 off of that purchase using the promo code GOZ. G-O-Z.
GOZ. G-O-Z.
Promo code GOZ. G-O-Z. Your first purchase on SeatGeek.com, whatever it is. A sporting event, a concert, anything you want, you get $20 off. You got 3 or 4 tickets, 5 tickets, $20 off. Simple and easy. Type in the promo code GOZ, G-O-Z, and you get $20 off of your purchase thanks to our friends at SeatGeek.com. Use the promo code GOZ. SeatGeek.com is your place to buy tickets for this summer, concerts, sporting events, and more. SeatGeek.com.
I would have thought the promo code would be no booty having guys. I thought that would be a good one.
Booty with like a $sign somewhere in there, 2 booties, a lowercase b, uppercase double O.
Dude, I wish you had been there this morning when we were at the Junior Plainsman game because it was the pollen. Like you can still hear the pollen in my voice. Well, that and the hangover from golf yesterday. But it was like fall cold. It was so bad. Like I legitimately sent the Empresses home early. I was like, you're going to freeze to death. Get out of here.
Speaking about golf, did I see you post a huge athletic milestone you accomplished yesterday? Did I see?
Listen, I mean, I didn't know you wanted to do this. But I'm in. I'll tell you about the the long drive champ from the Labatt tournament at McGregor Links yesterday. I'll tell you about that. Of long drive champ. Got a call day before, later in the day, from our good friend Boston Dan. He's like, Jeff, I need you to golf with me in this tournament. I need somebody for the foursome. I'm like, you got it. I then called our friends at Labatt's, Frank and Joe, and I said, listen, I'm golfing, but if I don't get a foursome for our guys, Mike Corda and the rest of the crew in the front office, they're just going to terrorize me the entire day and make me pay for not being out there too. So the great people they are, Levack, we got them in. We got the guys playing. So Mike Corda, Matt Woods, the VP, and Ryan Hewlett, the director of strategic partnerships, won the whole thing.
Whoa!
12 under as a group.
Wait a second. Who's good? Who's good on that team?
Well, Mike's phenomenal. Mike Corda is that annoying guy whose shoulder hurts. Oh, my back. I haven't swung the club. And then pink 300 down the middle like it's nothing. And apparently Woods and Hewlett are good too.
Oh, I was going to say, I thought Mike was only like what you just said. I thought he just drove it out there, got in the cart, smashed the beer, and let everybody else handle it from there. I didn't know if there was more skill after the smash.
No, he's good. And right. The three of them played great. And they won. They won the whole damn thing. And that's all I've heard about since. But again, longest drive right here. That's me. Some would try to tell you a story that whoever really had the longest drive thought it'd be funny if my name went on there instead of theirs. So that would be how I won it. And even if that's true, I'm going to my grave saying I won the longest drive at the McGregor Links Labatt Blue tournament.
One of the catfish scenarios, what I'm hearing here? The
legitimately, they called me out. So Frank from Labatt goes, longest drive, Jeff Levack. And I went, no, I didn't. And he's like, says here you did. I'm like, yeah. Oh, I can't believe no one hit farther than that one when I left it. I thought for sure somebody would have caught me. As you know, like my number one goal is not to lose balls. Like I can uncork one once in a while off the tee. As a matter of fact, I did win a bet with our friend Joe Lynch. Got some Empire advertising coming from Joe Lynch. He's going to pay for. Okay. So, which is nice. But yeah, no, it's totally somebody else was making fun of me and did it. But I got a really awesome cooler out of it. So long drive champ right there.
Who's the real winner then? Take that.
Right. It was
Happy Gilmore here that drove it 430 yards. No, Jeff Levack has drived it 435. Congrats.
Well, you know what the best part of it was. So Joe Lynch, our friend, I married Joe to his wife. He hit one on one hole and he crushed it past the marker. Because like what happens for a long drive competition is it sits in there's like a notepad with a pencil that sticks in the ground. So where your ball lands, you pick that up, you put it next to it, you write your name. If you hit past that one, then you go and you do whatever. So we're just destroying Joe. Joe hits this really nice shot off the tee and he goes past the marker. So we're like, come on, Lynch, go ahead, put it on, whatever. He goes, all right, fine, whatever. He was joking he was going to write my name. He writes his name. He goes, we're up another 40, 50 yards or whatever. There's the men's. We accidentally tricked Joe into putting that he had the longest drive for the women's. So I was waiting for that to blow up. I kept waiting for I was like, Joe's short for Josephine. Just don't. How dare you? How dare you? Just try to assign him a gender. How dare you? But it was a great time. The people at the McGregor Links is great. It was cool to hang out with Boston Dan, and I didn't actually golf with our guys, so they were over. They're just texting me random how much more fun they were having than I was having. Jokes on them. There was free beer, so I had a blast.
Well, Levack, you will be back golfing potentially with those guys on Sunday, July 10th, when we are up in Saratoga with our friends at the Hideaway. We'll be broadcasting live that morning. It is the Wide World of Sports event. Check out the Hideaway Facebook page if you want to sign up, be a part of that event up in Saratoga. Always a great time. So you will be golfing.
A stretch for my long drive. By the way, be on the lookout for Mike Cordo's golf balls. They actually have his face on them. So.
That is more reason to be there Sunday, July 10th, the Hideaway, for that Wide World of Sports event. I will be in a hole doing a hockey game, which will be a lot of fun after our show. Shout out to Chad and Mac and Trout and everybody up there at the Hideaway. Awesome event coming up Sunday, July 10th. We will be there. And also, we hope that this guy will be there. Mr. Northeastern Insurance himself.
Oh,
Jared
he'll be
Lozier.
there. We're gonna. He's called down the Thunder. Little recap from last year's tourney. Right in the Goonie Goo-hoo. I'm gonna catch him.
If you want to save cash or watch Jared potentially risk his family jewels being assaulted, that's the guy. Jared Lozier, Northeastern Insurance. Show up to the Hideaway. JAREDL@nemail.com is your guy if you want to save cash. Again, we mentioned it earlier. Gas prices, groceries, travel, things that you probably didn't expect to jack up on the prices here throughout 2022. Yeah, that's the year, 2022. Jared Lozier will help you save that cash. What year is it again? Jared Lozier, Northeastern Insurance. If you're looking to save that money on policies, talking about your small business, your car, your home, Jared's the guy to call. 518-956-3753. Look, it's going on the scroll right when I'm saying it. 518-956-3753. Jared Lozier, Northeastern Insurance, the best way to save cash in 2022, which is the year right now.
He keeps threatening me he's going to come to an Empire game. I think he's been to a few. I think he's just hiding from me. I think he knows. He knows I took him out on the golf course. Imagine what I'll do to him in my arena. You know what I'm saying?
You know what Jared would do though if he got like really good seats for an Empire game? I know he'd be the first person that would actually like catch a ball in the stands and then want to show off his arm and throw it back on the field. You guys need me? I can quarterback. And he'll be the first one to throw the ball back. Everybody else is so excited to keep it. You hand it off to a little kid who's super excited. Jared would stand back there in the pocket like Mahomes, zipping one in and point to like, coach, you see that? You need me? I'm ready.
I think he'd be the one who would like spill his beer. You know what I mean? Trying to catch the ball, just wear the beer. And then when he does try to throw it back, his shorts are so tight they just split right down the back. That's what I think would happen.
JAREDL@anymail.com. You can email your predictions there and save some cash as well.
Levack and Goz, live on the Techie Fire and Water Restoration Facebook page, as well as Godzilla Media's YouTube. And then you can check us out everywhere, Apple, Spotify, all those great places. So if you missed some of the preview for tonight's game, boom, it's right there for you, ready to rock and roll. I didn't win any money on the NBA Finals, which I've been able to not care because at least Boston didn't win. At least the Celtics didn't win. At least Trayvon Shorts can't brag about the Boston Celtics anymore. At least that miserable hole of an existence that is Boston does not get another title.
Should you have hedged the bet? You let us know.
No, well, I'm all right. I'm all right with it. I'm fine with it. Look, it would have been nice. It was a $17 bet. What are you going to do? It was a drunken $17 bet. I say drunken. I don't remember making it. Maybe I sleep bet. That'd be great. Just start waking up in the middle of the night with my phone in my hand. Like, what the hell was it? A 17-team parlay. Whatever. But yeah, it is what it is. It was fun while it lasted. It was weird rooting for Boston. And now I don't have to. So it's all good. I love how petty these guys are though.
Ooh, Boston or Warriors? Oh, yeah, okay.
Like, and they own it, and they say it. Like, they're like, "No, I'm freaking king of petty." Like, let's go. Like, I'm all in. I love it. It cracks me right up.
You're talking about the pettiness, like Draymond wearing the 18-time Boston Celtic champion shirt, and the 18th one being like, "Psych, you didn't win, we won."
Right.
You're talking about, I think, another one, Draymond showing up in all black. Yeah,
well,
I'm going to
Curry,
a funeral.
Curry's putting people to sleep, and he says, "Look, I'm petty all day." Klay Thompson's still talking smack about guys they played like months ago. Like, I like it. I think it's like the Jordan, I'm going to motivate myself by hating you. And the difference is they're willing to tell us what they're doing. We're not going to have to wait for the 10-piece documentary to find out who Jordan was talking crap to. Like, they're like, no, it was this guy, it was that guy, it was the other guy. Screw them. We won. We got 4. We're badasses.
And, like one of the most often used cliche when a team wins a championship, somebody will get up there and be like, nobody gave us a chance. Nobody thought we could win. And you're like, all right, some of you are the favorites to win the championship. You can't do that. But these guys, like, believe it. Like, hey, you did this, you did that. We'll stay petty. We'll show. Ring me was the other thing. Curry was yelling out there in the game like a madman. All right, so they went in 2015. They went in 2017. They went in 2018, and now 2022. This is a dynasty, right? Like, I'm shocked this was even like a question. Oh, well, Ben, will you stop it? Ben, for our audio audience, just wrote in, Warriors got lucky. Will you stop?
Told me to put the bet in now for next year.
Stop
All right.
it.
The Warriors got lucky by smoking you.
Yeah, all those 3-pointers they all missed in Game 5 when we came on and started ripping apart how Game 5 was. All of a sudden, Game 6 they start going, and you're like, yeah, some of these shots, Curry's not even moving the rim. Like, these are nothing but net shots going in from Curry. Okay, yeah, he's the greatest shooter of all time, and he's probably. I saw his brother ran out of Twitter as fast as he could. Be like, you better put respect on his name and call him one of the greatest players ever. Like, all right, man, relax. Okay, we'll do that. No problem. You don't have to yell at me, Seth Curry.
The problem is, I hate when they do this, right? So he's the freshest in your mind. So now all of a sudden, like he's this one, he's past that one, he's past the other one. Like, why don't you guys why don't you pump the brakes, Trav? What's up? And really look at everything first. Like, is he the greatest point guard of all time? He's the greatest shooting point guard of all time. Like, you know, it's the game has changed so much. It's hard to sit there and tell me and make me believe you that if I drop Steph Curry into the NBA in 97, he's this successful. Like, and I know it's like you can only play in the era you're in, but I just hate the people who want to erase the great players of the past because somebody is amazing. He's absolutely amazing. Is he top 10? Is he top 7? Like, where does he rank out?
You know what? I'm going to add to that before I give that ranking too, because some people, I think my dad, by the way, if he's watching, he'd be like, what about Pete Maravich? Like, what if Pete Maravich had a 3-point line? What if Jerry West had a 3-point line?
What about Wilt Chamberlain?
Allowed to dunk, right? That fraud.
I just like getting you fired up. What if Carmelo learned to pass?
Stop. Will you? Unnecessary. We should have stuck with the Wilt jokes. That liar. That absolute fraud, Wilt Chamberlain. Why you pass, Wilt? But I get the point about like a Maravich or a West. Like, okay, an easy argument could be, and I think it's a fair argument. Okay, how good would Curry have been without a 3-point line?
I didn't
realize.
But
he didn't have to play without one. Like, he has one, so we have to.
Wednesday.
Ben, what are you drinking on this Saturday? Are you still under the orange roof?
So don't forget Bill Russell. Bill Russell,
Ted.
Obviously, yeah, 100%.
You mean Ted? He looks like Ted from the movie.
Ted. It's a 11-time champ, 8 consecutive. Ben's going to work for Bill. Well, Bill Russell, 100%. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, the Tatum thing is a joke. I'm sorry. Like, Tatum's not better than Curry. And if you're being realistic with yourself, I tell you can have one or the other on your team next year. You're not taking Tatum. You're taking Chef Curry every time. But like Bill Russell's a guy who slides down people's boards for some reason about how great he was. And the titles thing, you got to be a little careful with the titles thing because it's a team game and people will fire that. Like Yogi Berra for the Yankees. It's like, well, was he as great as he was, or was he part of a great team? And the answer is yes to both. And the answer is yes to both for Bill Russell. But there's people who will not rank Bill Russell because they're like the one thing I will say about Ben Nelson, he's got respect for the past. A lot of people his age, it's like, oh, they don't know there was a player before LeBron. They don't even like, oh, Kobe. That's a throwback name. Like, you know what I mean? So it's tough for me to rank Steph. I don't know where I put him. Do I put him ahead of Kobe? I can't.
He's got to be in the top 20 now at this point, Curry, for legacy and where he's going to end up. He's still got some years left. He's 34. He turned 34 in March. And his style of play, I wonder if he's going to be like a reliever in baseball, where he's just going to stand out there and shoot and shoot and shoot. You know, like a reliever will come in for a few innings. Curry will just be the marksman, and he'll do that for a long time. I think the most interesting comparison career to career of legacy and where he stands and everything else is actually with his former teammate, Kevin Durant. Because Kevin Durant's an all-time great scorer. Kevin Durant won a championship as Curry's teammate. And the old argument years ago was like, who's the leader? Who's the best player? All right. I mean, Durant was the MVP, sure. Right. But Durant hasn't won a title since he left that Warrior team without Curry. But if you told me who I had to take if I had to pick a team, and you told me I got to pick between Kevin Durant or Steph Curry, I would still take Steph Curry. Even though I know he's like a foot shorter, but a lot of that might play into who Kevin Durant is personality-wise. Like, who would I rather have as a teammate? I think it's kind of clouded in this, who's the better player for me. But it's true. I would rather have Steph Curry than listen to Kevin Durant complain the whole time. So those two are pretty close on that standard of where they rank. Like a guy like Dirk, he's going to finish with more points and championships than Dirk, even though Dirk's another 7-footer who's great. So, yeah, he's in this conversation. Here's one. How about this? From 2010 to 2022, maybe Steph Curry's the second best player in that 12-year period after LeBron.
That's fair.
Maybe he's in that discussion. Yeah,
I think it's pretty fair, especially the only thing that you can really knock Steph Curry for is durability. Because once he gets dinged up, he's dinged, and you may not see him, or you may not see him the right way or whatever. Like, I know he hurt his foot in this one and was able to play through and whatever. I almost feel like they made that up, like the way he played after. Like, it's like, oh, my foot, swoosh, 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 swoosh. I'm like, all right, hold up, what are you doing? Being sneaky. But like, if Steph Curry and Klay Thompson never get hurt, how many championships do they have? Are we at 6, 7? Because they are difference makers. Like, the biggest comment I have for Durant is what he was willing to do to his game when he got to Golden State. He became a rim protector, not just a scorer, but he played defense, and he ripped down boards more than he did before. He was like, all right, those guys can shoot. Those guys are great from out there. I can shoot from 3, but I can create shots anywhere on the floor. I'm gonna play closer to the paint. I'm gonna get in there and make some messes for people.
If you're a Warrior fan, like you just said, there's a lot of excuses where you can make. We should have more championships. So you mentioned the injuries, so you can say, all right, we got hurt one year. That's why we didn't win it. Thompson was hurt. We weren't in full strength. Fine. You could blame COVID. All right, if COVID didn't happen and everything got changed around, we would have been there. We would have beat the Los Angeles Lakers. Look what they were post-COVID, and look what we were post-COVID. And the Cavalier won. If you're a really biased Warrior fan, you could say the referees cost us. Every fan base likes to do that. I think that's a little too much bias. And then they just got beat by Toronto. Like, Kawhi Leonard was just a machine in that series. So, yeah, you've got legit excuses to say, hey, we were able to qualify for 6 conference finals and win them, and then get to the NBA finals and win 4 championships. This is a dynasty, and I'm curious to see what happens next year. Like, why won't – if, like you said, if they're healthy, why aren't they the favorites again and again and again? And those guys aren't going to go chase the money. As much as Knicks fans would like it, I don't know if Klay or Draymond will ever be a Knick.
Yeah. No. I mean, if they were, it would be when there's nothing left. Or like maybe they give the Knicks would sign them to like a 5-year deal or something, whatever nonsense, and they'll be good for one. Like that's and everybody will get all the hope in the world and we'll go crazy. Or you'll trade them, you'll get them in the last year of a expiring contract. They'll play their faces off and they'll get a long-term extension. That's Knicks if they do that. But no, those 3 together, they add another player if you want to. They're going to put you in everything. And to your point earlier when you're talking about the NAL playoffs, Golden State is that 100% that team. No matter where they get in, they're dangerous because the 3-pointers, they are better at them than anybody else. They will bury you on points, and there's very little you can do about it.
Yeah, I'm excited to still watch the Warriors play. I know at some point, like, there's going to be teams that are just going to try to be the Warriors. The Rockets got the closest, but I'm cool watching Steph Curry. Like, this is the era of greatness. We've never seen something quite like the way they play basketball, and they figured out that formula better than everybody else. And we'll find out if LeBron can ever catch him again, or a team from the East can catch him again. But I wouldn't say that's the end of the Warrior dynasty. Like, we've seen teams like the Spurs, like the Bulls, where we knew the end was coming. I don't see the end coming yet for Golden State.
Betty Wednesday. Let's not forget the Celtics have been in the Eastern Conference Finals pretty much every year. Always a bridesmaid. I mean, I don't know what you want. What do you want?
They're fine. Like, Tatum's good. Brown's good, just
good.
Not good enough. They're really good players that just could not out Golden State. Yeah. What was the stat that Tatum had? I believe he's the first player ever in the history of the NBA postseason to have 100 turnovers.
Well, and let's not forget too, like, Golden State punched you in the mouth and you took it. Like you're this tough Boston team. And you're gonna make Smart's gonna make it difficult. And all these things it's gonna this that. Golden State went, all right, that's cute. It did it right back to you, and you went, oh, stop, oh, like a bully in a movie. That was not a great performance from the Boston Celtics. I'm sorry.
I would like to brag that right now, Levack and I are doing a show in mid-June, and neither one of us is sweating right now because of the good people at Johnstone Supply in Troy. If you're looking for a new AC unit, if you want to stay cool all summer long, Johnstone Supply in Troy is your place. Go visit them on 6th Avenue in Troy. By the way, happy birthday to our guy, Tom. Good shots. A happy birthday to him, man.
Good How many like different mustache products do you think that guy gets for his birthday? Like mustache oil, mustache comb, mustache trimmer, mustache rides.
The next time we see him, we should just give him that. Or if you go to 6th Avenue in Troy, show up.
You're gonna give him a mustache ride?
Him. No. Some type of gel to make sure his hair looks wonderful now that he's aged properly. 518-272-5922. That is the number to call. 518-272-5922. If you're looking for a new AC unit for this summer, even if you're looking at yours and just like barely hanging on, you're like, yeah, this is good enough. Don't do that. Johnstone Supply in Troy will help you find the unit, and they'll talk to you about the best way to install it and more. Make sure to see their stuff on Facebook as well. Great people to work with. We love Johnstone Supply in Troy. Whatever you're looking for, those split units too, we talk about Fujitsu, Westinghouse, and more. Tom, Bird, Kev, James, those are the great people that will help. Shout out to our guy George as well. I know he's probably fired up for the fights tonight. He's a big boxing fan. Those guys at Johnstone Supply in Troy are the people that you want to trust when you're making those changes in your home. AC unit, stop sweating like pigs. Put deodorant on. Johnstone Supply in Troy. We're about that as the tagline.
So stop sweating.
Sweating like pigs and put deodorant on with your new AC unit. Johnstone Supply in Troy.
See, you're not in the capital region right now. It's cold.
Oh,
it's cold today. It's like 50 degrees. So you're almost going back to your John Goodman furnace from Johnstone Supply today. Like I've got the windows open and clearly somebody is burning something that does not smell like wood. Like it smells like electrical fire. So hopefully there's not a house on fire somewhere in the neighborhood, but it stinks in my house right now. As soon as we're off this, I'm going to have to shut it down and put the AC back on.
It is also cloudy here in Syracuse. I just assumed it was just nicer weather in Albany. That's like what happens in the winter.
Usually.
Like when a snowstorm hits in Syracuse, Albany is like, I send the Snapchat out like, haha, no snow here.
Levack and Goz, and thank you everybody for tuning in. Make sure you check us out on the Tech East Fire and Water Restoration Facebook page. Godzilla is at YouTube, Spotify, Apple, wherever you get your podcast. Make sure you like, subscribe, and rate the show because especially if you don't like it, because I don't.
One stars, just leave it one star.
Just one star, just a bunch of one stars. Yeah. Like I watched it as like a self-punishment is what I did. With 6 people watching right now. No, it's great. It's the best thing I've ever done. And Father's Day is tomorrow, so that's a really crappy thing to say.
Happy Father's Day, Levack. There you go.
Happy Father's Day, Gozzy Bear. All right, when's my next kid coming? Is my next kid on the way yet?
You said something about the Yankees. I think my connection just cut off there. The Yankees, right. Anthony Rizzo is what you said about a grand slam. Is that what I heard?
Dude, they are. Look at Benny. Look at Benny Wednesday throwing the 5 stars up. He knows what he's doing too. Benny Wednesday, he rates pizzas, so he knows good stuff. When it's
that is the same. That's right. I thought that was radar. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you got a problem with that. Listen, in your defense, all white people look alike. Yeah, Yanks and Mets, man. Like there was a promo on one of the gambling apps. Oh, probably DraftKings. I don't remember which one, to be honest with you. But it was like, actually, there was one earlier in the year where you could bet on a Subway Series happening, and now I think DraftKings just did theirs. I'm in on both of them. I've said this for years. My favorite seasons are the ones where the Yankees and the Mets are both in the series and Yankees win. That's my favorite years. I love the Yankees. I like the Mets. I'm a New York sports fan. So if this could continue on, even though Atlanta has clearly figured a few things out for themselves, this could be great. We may have to call our friends over at Yankee Trails and get to a couple games down the old Subway Series.
Yes, let's make it happen. For the Yankees too, like the most recent game too, with the beatdown of the Blue Jays. Like Toronto's in the division. Everyone said, "Oh, it's Toronto's year." I will fully admit, I think I did. I picked the Blue Jays to make the World Series this year with the Mets. They did not look like the Blue Jay team that everybody hyped up because of New York being so good. Here's two stats, Levack. I'll see a little 50-50 game. Which one do you like more? I'm going to make you pick here. Do you like the fact here in mid-June that the Yankees are leading all of baseball in home runs hit, or do you like that the Yankees right now are leading baseball in the best ERA?
The ERA, because they've always been able to hit home runs. The way they're pitching right now, was Jameson Tyone today, is phenomenal. It is so good. Like watching them win like 2-1 games where they don't have hits is phenomenal. Runners in scoring position, way better than they've been since you and I started doing a show together. Knock on wood on that because that scares me. But it's definitely I love home runs, but the ERA is why you're, what are they, 32 games above 500? They're at a point in the season right now with the lead they have this early in the year. They're the third team to ever do it. I think it was the Murderers Row 29 Yankees, and then the A's team before that was really dominant. And both those teams won the World Series. So the fact that you're doing things that only World Series winning teams have done before is pretty phenomenal.
I'm with you on the ERA stat too. You could be a home run smashing team and constantly strike out. Like you could try to do the old game. And it felt like sometimes the Yankees over the last few years tried to win games 7-5,
right,
8-6. Hope
well,
you get a few home runs out.
The Blue Jays from this year.
Yes.
You know, like the pitching's okay, but the bats are phenomenal.
The ERA is the answer. That's exactly it. Because you can shut down teams and get that power and find it and just hope the bullpen can keep it together and still with potentially, depending on what Cashman wants to do, have some arms ready to go, some experienced matchup arms already. Yes, ERA with that pitching staff, that is the difference. You know what? I know this kind of connects here with Golden State. How great does Brian Cashman feel right now? I feel like Brian Cashman, and look, the World Series is going to really, truly vindicate the criticism he's faced from Yankee fans offseason after offseason. And that'll get turned up in the postseason like it does every team, especially the Yankees. But especially this year, with the Yankees healthy, my goodness, how many years in a row we've been like, look at the IL, look at the IL, look who's on here. They finally are healthy, knock on wood. And Brian Cashman's probably like, I told you so. I told you.
Yeah.
Joe Girardi gets fired in Philly, and the Phillies are one of the hottest teams in baseball. I told you. Trade it. Cashman's probably sitting back thinking, I knew it. This is my year. Come at me now, trolls. Look what's going right for old Brian Cashman this season.
See, the problem is you have forgot a few things. One person did say they were going to be this damn good. Maybe not this good. I was on them.
I'm my co-host with his name right up here above my head.
Right. Before the season started, everybody's crushing them. They didn't make the move. They didn't make this move. And I'm sitting there going, guys, this is a phenomenal lineup. Like, don't fall for the shiny object on the shelf. Just saw Patrick Corbin's stats the other day. I was like, yeah, thank God I didn't sign that guy. Right. So like, I was on board, and not just like homer on board, not just like, where it's, oh, the Yankees are going to be fun. They'll make a big move. I said, this is a hell of a roster. It's a hell of a roster. You also forget the reason I had to start the in Cashman I trust is because the Yankees could win 120 regular season games, sweep to the World Series, and then lose one game in the World Series, but still win in 5. And the Cashman trolls will come out and go, that's because Cashman didn't make the right moves, or else they could have swept that. Cashman's an idiot. They need to get, it's anyone else. Like Theo Epstein needs to be whatever. Like there is so much venomous hate for Brian Cashman that if he does have this beautiful, amazing roster and it keeps doing what it's doing all year, they'll one of two things. They'll find the one or two things he did wrong and scream him from the mountaintops, or they'll sit dormant and quiet until there's a move that's made or not made that they can flame. And that's what they'll do. Because the internet is a cesspool of hate and uneducated jackassery.
Who's more vindicated after that Cashman take? I'm sure Aaron Boone wants to hop on all that too, because Aaron Boone faced so many critics. Aaron Boone's record is hilarious. Like, I'm talking like success rate. I know the championship's not there. I know the American League pennant, we'll use an old school term there, is not where it should be. But like, you look at wins to starting manager career.
Yeah,
Aaron Boone's gonna be like, what? Guys, can I get in here on some of this credit too?
And that's the beauty of it, right? Boone's a terrible manager. Oh, he's got all these like most winningest this, did that, whatever. Oh yeah, because of the roster he gets to manage. Wait a minute, didn't you just tell me Cashman sucked too? Wait, they can't both suck. If the team's doing this well, they can't both suck. But people are ridiculous. People are absurd.
On the Mets side of it too, I feel like this is going to be the same storyline I have about the Mets for the next month. But this is it. Like, this is constantly this thing that we go back to of they've got guys who are contributing to the lineup. They have a more balanced approach to the plate. Like Pete Alonso still smashing home runs. You've got guys who are really good.
Pete Alonso.
And they have Scherzer and DeGrom, according to reports, getting closer to a return. And I know that's very vague. I feel like teams just like to say that.
Scherzer threw 60 pitches. Yeah. I guess the report is if he gets to 75 comfortable pitches, he'll come back. So he's up to 60. So that's good. You know how weird it is? I'm such a Pete Alonso fan that if you told me I could abduct and have any one player from the Mets on the Yankees, as great as DeGrom and Scherzer are, and they will be back this year at some point, and they will, be Cy Young candidates and everything else, I'd still probably clip Pete Alonso. I just love Pete Alonso. There's just something. He has fun when he plays. He's clutch. He falls on his face when he slides into home. He makes ugly throws, but it's just they win and he's fun.
How much of that, because I feel the same way about Alonso, how much of it for you becoming a fan of Alonso was affected by his home run derby performances?
His home run season, like his rookie year, that was amazing. It doesn't hurt. I'm not as into the home run derby as I used to be.
What? Is it because after the game? Oh, whoa! Levack was hurt after the Judge victory. It's already peaked.
No. Like I think that's when I realized, because I was like, "Oh, this is really cool. This is really great." But like when Tino Martinez won it, and it wasn't nearly as dominant of a performance, I was ecstatic. Judge won it. I was like, "Oh, it's really cool," and I was like, "Oh, like I guess I'm just not as into it as I once was." Like, I like Pete Alonso in spite of it.
Okay, all right. I was gonna say I definitely became a fan of Alonso because he like wanted to win. He like took it as this. I'm the best one out here. I'm gonna show everybody I'm the best hitter. This means a lot to me. I'm gonna make it happen. I feel like where you're going with that though is that what the home run derby has become is that week in July where everything slows down in sports. It owns that week in July, and then all of a sudden, like once August and September hit, you're like, oh yeah, who won? Yeah, who won the home run derby?
Yeah,
it becomes a slave of the moment, right? Like this is going to dominate headlines for a week, and then back to normal.
When I go to bar trivia, those like everybody wants me to, like, if there's a sports question, I have to know it. Like, it's a thing. It's not as bad now because people know I'm far more focused on what I have to do for the Empire and for Tech East Fire and Water Restoration. But like, if you had said to me like who won the last 5 home run derbies or something, I'd have to struggle. I don't know if I can get them all right now, to be perfectly honest with you.
Because the home run derby too is also like who won the NBA All-Star Game MVP, who won the Pro Bowl. It is technically still a skills competition in the week of an
But it's one I used to be dialed into.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, eh. But Polar Bear is fun, man. Got the nickname. He's one of those guys, like he's not Jeter, he's not Judge, but he's like of that ilk. He's one of those guys who gets New York and it's not too big for him. Like I love watching that guy play. He is fun. Like, I would go to a Mets game just to go see Pete Alonso play.
I'd like to go back to a Mets game. Call our guy Doc and see if we can make it happen.
I don't know if we're welcome. How drunk you got on that trip.
Hopefully our guy Grant's listening. Remember Grant?
The Grant doesn't remember that trip.
He randomly will pop up on my phone on Snapchat once, and I'm like, who the hell is Grant? Oh, my God, that kid from that trip.
The one who bragged about how much he could drink and then uked?
Speaking about the Yankees and Mets going for a ring this season, it is almost Father's Day. If you're looking for something cool for dad, head over to Lily and David Fine Jewelers, Shops of Wilton, Route 50. Talk to Alyssa. Talk to David. Like, I am struggling for a Father's Day gift. You have some cool watches. You have something my dad's going to love in here. They will help you find what he's looking for. Now, if it's not for dad and you're getting ready for the summer, whether it be a graduation event, maybe a wedding anniversary you're going to celebrate, maybe you're getting married, Lily and David Fine Jewelers can help you find what she's looking for, whether it be the earrings, the necklace, something that fits her style, her fashion. Alyssa, David, and the crew there, family-owned and operated business, will help you find it at Lily and David Fine Jewelers. I know from experience, we're getting up close to that 5-year mark of proposing to my wife. I would show you my wedding band right now, but I'm using my hand right now to hold the microphone as I'm sitting in a bed in move positions. No one cares about that, though. Lily and David Fine Jewelers is where they can help you find the engagement ring as well. The proposal, man, I was out yesterday with a bunch of buddies. I feel far better about my awful proposal, knowing guys are out there butchering proposals year after year. If you don't want to do that, at least make, that's right. At least have a great ring when you butcher your proposal, or talk to David and get some real true advice on how to do it the right way, you fools. Lily and David Fine Jewelers, Shops of Wilton off of Route 50, and tell him when you stop in, you heard about Goz's story and Levack laughing in his face. Right here from Levack.
I'm laughing because I got to save the date for one of our old boss's upcoming weddings, and I'm pretty sure he bought his engagement ring at Lily and David.
Let me ask this question: would it be someone I would not be going to the wedding of?
You would never go to this wedding. And I was gonna jokingly ask if you received a save the date as well, but I feel like he would invite you if he thought you would come, but he knows you would not come.
I will say this then. Although there's probably no chance I'd ever go to that wedding, the fact that he did go to Lily and David Fine Jewelers does make me feel better because I enjoy their support for their business.
And I don't know if I got invited because he thinks I won't fly to Florida, but I will. I'm going to be there. I'm going to make this one.
Oh, happen. This says +1. That's weird. I'm bringing Goz. How weird.
Oh, can you imagine that? That would be funny. So I think he'd be. I think if. So basically, obviously, we're joking about our last boss at the radio station, who I'm still very, very close with, and he was put in some, we'll say, awkward situations, and he and Goz have not spoken since. But that's
the best way we'll handle that.
He's told me flat out. He would love to talk to you. He would love to.
I would not like to talk to him.
Well, he knows that. That's why he's not reaching out to you. Victoria Kepner, my friend, she wants to say hello. Hey, Victoria, how are you? Ben wants to know which one's Levack and which one's Goz. So
that's very funny.
How do you become an Eagle Scout? Not know that.
Ben, I'm laying down like my hot take diva right now. I'm moving closer to Mariah Carey on the couch now.
He's like laying on a piano while he does the rest of the show. I don't know this story. What's going on with Vince McMahon and the WWE?
Oh, you didn't see this?
No, I've seen a woman naked in the last year. I don't know every wrestling story out there.
So I lay down like David Hasselhoff and tell this story. It's probably a weird story to set it was. I lay like this. But, Vince McMahon is being investigated. According to a Wall Street Journal report, there was some hush money that the investors in the WWE found about Vince McMahon having an affair with his wife with an employee of the WWE. John Laurinaitis is involved in this as well.
He had an affair with John Laurinaitis?
No. According to this story, that there was some hush money involved. Vince McMahon has now stepped down on the interim as the CEO of the WWE, as this is under investigation. Stephanie McMahon is now serving in that capacity. Vince McMahon is still.
So it all makes sense now. So that's why Stephanie stepped down originally, so that she can make way to go take over.
Yeah, that's what's starting to make a little bit
more
sense.
Meanwhile, Shane O'Mac is still kicked out.
Right. Vince McMahon is still a part of creative decisions. So we're talking like storylines and things you'll see on a daily and weekly basis with the WWE. So with all these stories coming out about what's happened with McMahon and Laurinaitis and the hush money and everything else.
Do we know who the employee is?
Yes.
Can you say?
I don't know her name off the top of my head. I know Fightful Select's done a great job with this. The Wall Street Journal's done a great job. So
she's not like a wrestler, though?
No.
Oh.
She had a job within the company. She was going to report it. And then she basically got a raise, and then it got a little murky after that. Hopefully that's the best way to describe what's happened. Some would ask about
only $3 million.
Someone asked about the relationship between Vince and his wife, Linda McMahon, who was a former member of the presidential cabinet in 2016 and 2020, ran for office. Allegedly, they've been broken up for years. Like this is one of these, like they're married, but they're not together situations, as reports are saying. Long story short, Vince McMahon is being investigated. They dodged the Me Too movement, cancel culture, and everything else. And if you go through the WWE and WWF's past, yikes, there's a lot of things that could have got canceled over. But Nick Khan, who is the super agent, as I like to say, Ari Gold on steroids, joined the WWE. And Vince McMahon in character. Levack, he was in character last night, hyped up. Mr. McMahon comes to SmackDown tonight. I was like, what the hell? McMahon's getting investigated. He's going to show up on Fox to talk about it. So McMahon shows up last night on SmackDown and basically says, like our saying says, then, now, forever, and most importantly, together. Welcome to SmackDown. And then drops the mic. And that's where we stand now.
I'm trying to find a picture of this
did that.
I want to know who's worth $3 million to not talk.
Do you think Vince McMahon will ever be done with the WWE? Like, I feel like he has dodged so many, from the steroid era to this to like, it's hard for me to ever see the WWE without Vince McMahon.
Well, would you
alive?
I don't think that's possible, because would you ever mentally be able to separate them? Because he is the WWE. He was the announcer for years. We didn't realize how big of a thing he really was if you didn't do any research. I'm just, like I said, I'm on my phone. I'm trying to find out what this chick looks like. It always amazes me like who these guys cheat with, because it's almost never like this, like just knockout. It's almost always like just some rando that would just happen to be available. Nobody's gonna go after her though, taking $3 million to not talk about a relationship. So obviously she was gonna talk about the relationship. I'm always mesmerized by that. But like Vince McMahon and WWE will always be the same thing. I can't, like, how I hate the 1-day contracts, right? So Jerry Rice doesn't need to sign a 1-day contract with 49ers. He's 49er. I don't care that he played in Oakland or whatever. Vince McMahon is never going to need to sign a 1-day contract with the WWE. That's his baby. I know it's a publicly traded company now, so there's a board, and he's this much, and he's not that, and whatever. He owns the WWE. That's it. That's all there is to it.
I have a theory. I know you love a good conspiracy theory, so I'm going to drop this. I'm convinced one person's behind it all. So you just laid out, right? Like Shane McMahon was gone in January because of allegedly reports said how he acted during the Royal Rumble.
It was me, Austin.
It was me all along. Stephanie was gone in April. Triple H, who is Vince McMahon's son-in-law, has been having his role reduced. Some have pointed to that to being health scenarios that's happened. So you're telling me Shane McMahon, Stephanie McMahon, and Triple H are all gone, and now Vince is being investigated.
Well,
it all goes, and Stephanie's now back, right? But it all goes back to Nick Khan. Like I'm bringing up Nick Khan again because, again, for those who don't know, CAA, think Ari Gold in real life. This guy was running the most powerful sports talent agency. So anybody, I'm telling you, anybody you see on ESPN, more than likely was repped by CAA. Like everybody, from Max Kellerman to Darren Revere, like anybody. So if you're wondering
they ran
why
roughshod through the NBA too, like
yes, he did.
Yeah.
So if you're wondering like why aren't more reports basically blasting Nick Khan, or why aren't more talking heads blasting Nick Khan? Because they probably got paid by Nick Khan.
Right.
Nick Khan's probably like, hey, remember that $1 million contract I gave you and became more popular? Yeah, that's because of me. And they're like, right. I'm not taking a shot at Nick Khan. This guy I want a 30 for 30 on this guy. Because this guy seems like he's on the way to destroy the McMahons and make him the boss. This is Game of Thrones stuff, Levack, that this Khan guy's up to. And I want it all. And you know what? The best part about him? Unlike Ari Gold, where Ari Gold was like in the front, I'm talking like the character from Entourage, not Ari Emanuel. Right. That Nick Khan, no one knows who the hell he is. He's done like one interview in like 10 years with Helwani because Helwani was one of his clients. So,
well, and every time you say his name, all I think of is the ownership of AEW. But
Tony
he's not
Khan,
related
right?
to them.
Yes.
Yeah, he's not related to them at all. So it's weird. It's just a very weird thing.
I'm with you. I think Vince McMahon never leaves. No matter what, as long as he's alive, he will be the face of the WWE.
I guarantee you that when this came out, stocks went down too. I mean, all stocks are going down right now. But like when Vince is strong, the WWE is strong. and vice versa. So like the WWE stocks went down because the XFL folded, because that made Vince look weak. So this is, people are always going to associate the two. Always. Unless Stephanie comes in there and it's clear she's running it. But you're not going to be able to convince me that since he's still there in like an advisory role or whatever the hell it is, he's not still telling her what to do. All right, Stephanie, go ahead and run the WWE. As long as you run it exactly how I tell you to. You toots.
Make Roman look strong. I got an idea. Roman and Lesnar. That'll get him. SummerSlam.
That's one of the ones too. Like you talk about cancel culture and like, I can't believe they haven't gone after him more. Like wrestling's one of those places where it should be okay. You know what I mean? Like obviously not the stuff, the real stuff behind the scenes, but like oh wow, that's a really hot chick in spandex, and I'm going to mention that she's really freaking hot. And they're like, what? Oh, but she's so talented. Yeah, it's so Shawn Michaels. But if Shawn Michaels looked like me, he would not be the Heartbreak Kid. He'd be the Heart Attack Kid. It's like you got it. They're supposed to be good looking people. They're actors and actresses. And I know it's real. They get hurt. Blah, blah. It's real to me, damn it. But like, it should be one of the places where it's okay. Like, it's just like, because don't go to that club. Like, don't tune in if you don't want to see that. Oh, this is sexist, and I can't believe it. Well, why are you watching? Get out of here.
Yeah, exactly right. There's a little bit of an umbrella where it's like, this is entertainment, right? Like, do you want to cancel movies? Like, do you want to cancel the Avengers because you don't like how it went down? Do you want to cancel like any actor that plays a villain? Like, I hate that guy. Let's cancel. It is an umbrella entertainment.
People want to do all that. Right. Yep. People want to do all that. They want to do all that. It's so stupid. It's like, I hate golf. I'm so pissed off it's on TV. You got 70 billion channels and streaming companies and everything. Like, just shut your damn mouth. Don't watch that. Watch something else. Like our show, people used to like, that's the one thing, like with radio, I think every job, there's like a question that probably sets you off. Like if you're a doctor and you go to a party and, hey, what does this look like? Like, don't do that to the freaking, like you guys off, like whatever. Lady's not working that day, whatever. With us, radio is the one where people have no qualms telling you they don't like you or don't listen to you. Like you'll be meeting somebody. I used to get this all the time. It used to happen right in front of you. I was like, wow, I kind of like you. I thought you were kind of a dick and I never listened to your show because of you, but you're all right. And it's like, oh, thanks. By the way, my kid's not going to eat because of you, dick. But don't tell me about it. Like, why tell me? It's like, I like the people who are like, you know what? I'll give the show another chance because I met you and you're not a piece of shit. But like, not the ones who are like, I'll never listen to that show because you're crap. But you're not a bad guy.
I know I've said this on a weekend show before. My favorite one is all times the guy came up to me and said, hey, you're not that ugly.
Yo, fat. I used to get the fat all the time. You're not
That's the one you got? Okay, you got that.
You got ugly?
I'm not that ugly. Like, I can hear you. Like, you're not talking to your radio, man. I'm right here in front of you. I can hear you saying that.
Well, we used to make such a big deal of it on GNA. It was like a running joke that we'd go do events, and at least one event, I'd get a woman who called to me and be like, you're not fat? I'm like, and I look at her. She goes, well, not that fat. Like, it was nonstop. It was all the time. It doesn't happen anymore. I'm actually that fat now, so it's all right.
The audio audience that listens to the podcast the day after, be like, yeah, I'll get you guys in like 4 or 5 days. And I think for somebody, it's like, okay, like that's just what the podcast is. Like they will listen days later, 4 or 5 days later.
I don't get any of that. Like I can't do like I used to tax you, like interns, producers, with any conversation we had on the show that it's quote evergreen. Right. So like an evergreen tree is always green. So is it something that you could listen to a month from now, a week from now, a year from now, and it's still good? I can't hear it mentally. Like I can only talk about what's happening right now. I'm not that guy who's like, here's an open conversation that may or may not be useful in the future. Like, but they happen, but yeah, I could never I'm in the now. So this whole podcast thing is weird to me.
The reason I even bring it up is because, like you mentioned, like the difference in a radio show and a podcast. And somebody will be like, it's the most insulting thing in a podcast would be like, yeah, I'll get to you guys. I got like 3 other podcasts I'm going to do first before I get to you. Like, right. I'll be like, hey, why am I fit? Oh, it's like a grocery store. Like, we're going to get to aisle 11 here in a second. I got to get some fruits. I got to get some vegetables. Okay. All right. Like I guess to the radio comparison, be like, look, I listen to you guys at like 5:15. I got a bunch of other stuff I got to do before then. Okay. I mean, I guess you're listening, so thank you. Just Like,
But you're conditioned for that too.
Order.
Like
Yes.
you're conditioned because you learn how the ratings work, and it's like quarter hours and this and that and the other thing and whatever. Where this, it's like I don't like. I still like, hey guys, how are we doing? Good. All right. Well, what does that mean? Like how many people? This and that and what? I'm like, I still don't understand what the hell you're talking about. No, well, more people actually like we're almost to monetize and this. I'm like, oh, okay, cool, whatever. I'm never gonna see that money from you. You'll keep it. You'll give it to the rest.
Checks on the way, I promise.
Yeah, checks in the mail. I know, I get it.
What's your address again?
I almost said it. Levack and Goz. Goz, what game? If you could be on any game show, real or even fictitious ones you've seen in like movies or whatever, what game show would you like? I'm dying to be on that one. I got to be on that game show.
Game show. I would go with. Price is Right. No. I'm changing it right now. Wife, I will give the wife The Price is Right. I will do Let's Make a Deal. I want to say Sports Jeopardy, but that's too specific and it's not on anymore. So I would go Let's Make a Deal because I feel like I could crush that show.
I always wanted Jeopardy, but I feel like I don't have the trivia mind I did even a year ago. I liked Deal or No Deal. I thought I could crush. I would have a blast on Deal or No Deal. Or there's that one, The Wall, that LeBron was the producer of. Like any of those ones.
You mean Plinko?
Yeah, basically, dodgeball Plinko. Like any of those. I noticed you didn't say Squid Games. They're casting the second season of Squid Games, and I think they're making it a actual, like, real people will compete. I'm assuming they're not going to die in real life, but like, how do you know? Like, nobody knew they were going to die in the show. Can you imagine if you're like, it's really cool. I love that. I'll do the little sugar honeycomb freaking umbrella crap. Well, that's great. It'll be fine. And then I'll just get, I get kicked off the show if I lose. It's not like I really die. But what if they really do kill you? Because it's a weird world. Like maybe they send you over to, it's like this week in between the Live Golf Tour in Saudi Arabia, we're going to actually kill people in the Squid Games. Like what? Like I wouldn't sign up for that damn game. I'm going to watch. I can't wait to see. Would you do it?
No, of course not. And you know what? I'm frightened because I want to know the number of people just signed up. Like, I could die, but I get a lot of views on it, right? I get a lot of followers after I'm dead. I'm frightened by the casting of this. I'm like concerned by human culture about what this could be.
What is it? I think it's 436 people or whatever the hell the thing is, because it's like 1 million, 4-something million. Like if 400 castmates actually get in, it's going to be 1 billion people trying to get into this damn show. You know it. And I'm like, and again, I'm curious about it, but I just don't trust the universe enough to actually put myself into a game that's at least based on getting killed for not playing the game.
And is that a hot take now? Look, I don't want to play on a game show I might die on. Do we have to defend our takes now? Look at all these other people that said we're wrong, Levack.
Yeah, I mean, dude, I saw that. I was like, wait, you're legit casting? Like what is it? When the Wheel of Fortune crew rolls into Saratoga and does that, and like, wait, so is that what we're doing? Like, what's the testing process for that? Like, is it you just like, all right, he's broke, he's in, or is it you just want to slap me and see if I take it? Like, what's the casting look like for Squid Games, the real life version? And more importantly, if I could give you 400 plus people to put on that game show, who would you put there? I've got a list.
I do have a list.
They're on Facebook. Make the world a better place in one season of Squid Games. I can help you out.
Oh, what a horrible sight. That's the worst that people come out. Good. I want your list submitted to Zuckerberg and be like, this is the cast. These 400 people, I'll say you guys a bunch of times. This is it right here.
Can you imagine? Zuckerberg's such a weird dude. I bet you he has a list. Like you post enough crappy stuff. He just has a list. He's like, all right, Jeff Levack, that's another. I don't understand your political leanings at all. You think it's funny to make fun of all of them. I'm like, oh, there you get it. So I'm going to put you're in my Facebook Squid Games. When the government finally leaves me alone again, I'm coming for you. And all of us just wake up in a friggin' dorm room playing Red Rover.
Live camera.
Yeah.
On Netflix.
Dodgeball on scooters trying to kill each other. It'd be great.
This is how Netflix improves those stocks. We're going live this time. We're going to put the sponsors on the screen. Watch how fast that 75% drop will kick back up when Squid Games is live for season 2.
And we don't have to pay half the cast because they'll be dead. So it's perfect. Perfect. We just do a little, get an oven going, good to go.
Perfect business model.
Oh my God. Yeah, it freaked me out when I saw that. Look, Q&A?
No, I'm done. I don't want to
You
do any
done?
questions. That's a good way to end the show.
All right. I want to I was just a couple comments that
right,
I saw
fine.
come through real quick.
A lot of mine are WWE, and we already covered all that.
Cam said he's doing good. He's going to the next home game. That's good. Foot's doing
good.
well, he said. That makes me happy. Let me see. Tommy Gross. Will there be anyone at next Sunday's game from the 2019 team? Well, I'm fairly certain Jay Rich will be there.
Cisse?
Yeah. Cisse, I feel like he might show up.
All right.
Maybe guys. Benny Ice Life, which I don't know if that's also Ben Nelson. When we drop in the 2022 banner, well, hopefully in 2023. But I'm not confident enough in anything in my life.
Good question, Benny.
Yeah, I'm not touching the money.
Mid-season, really throw off the other teams in the league.
How about this one? Ben Nelson firing in today. I told Ben I want to have Benny Wednesday on the show, like helping out. I think Vince actually owns AEW and WWE and is behind it. All people like competition.
Will you stop, Ben? My goodness. It's a radar comment. That's what I'm going to start doing now. When I don't like your comments, I'm going to call you a radar.
Well, the thing is, like, obviously it's better for the product if there is another worthy product. I mean, the most successful time of wrestling that I can remember is the Monday Night Wars, Raw versus Nitro. But when Vince did own them all, it fell apart because he tried to do the same storyline. It didn't work. So no, he does not. Shad Khan, one of the richest men alive. Tony Khan, one of the richest kids, brats or whatever. Weird, dude. They own that. That's them. Did you see my boy Bobby Fish going toe-to-toe with Sting the other night? Huh?
I did see that. That's awesome, man. That's like a retirement thing. Like, you wrestle Sting, and you're like, I'm good. I'm good. I think I'm done with wrestling. I wrestled Sting. I wrestled in the WWF. I'll retire. I'll call it a career. I'm done with what I need.
Sting and Darby, what's his nuts? Tried to break my ankle. I'm good. I'm out of here. I'm done.
Allen.
Oh yeah, I don't like that kid.
I don't know if I'm into him either. I don't know if it's I don't know if he's like really popular with young, like, I'm talking like 7 to 12-year-olds where they think like, wow, this guy's really small and takes the punishment. This could be me. Yeah. But I just feel like there's the suspense of disbelief. It's like, this guy's getting his ass kicked. Like he's like a jobber. Like just pin him. This is right. I don't get his whole thing. Yeah, I'm with you on.
It's like if the Jackass crew really wrestled. It's just like, how bad can I hurt? Yes. Like, how bad can I get hurt? Like he's not gonna last long. He's gonna make Jeff Hardy look like he's never seen a pain pill at some point, because you just can't do the things he does to himself. But that's that. All right. Good luck to the guys tonight. The Carolina Cobras hosted our beloved Albany Empire, and a lot of people asking why no viewing party this week. It was difficult to go to somebody and say, hey, give me half your restaurant on a Saturday night when I don't have, you know what I mean? Like it just didn't feel it. So we're all going to watch on YouTube. Maybe I'll do I'll tweet out. I'll do some live tweets while the game's going on or something. And that way you can tell me how dumb I am on there or whatever.
I like it. Go Empire tonight. Also, one other big shout out, Abraham Nova, Capital Region Zone. Levack, you and I watched him fight way back from Atlanta when he was on. He's fighting on ESPN type in Madison Square Garden. So shout out to Abraham Nova. Hopefully he does well and gets a win for the Capital Region tonight.
All right, man. Well, enjoy your time with the Rents. Tell the parents I said hi. Tell your wife and my kids I said hi as well.
Happy Father's Day.